Hey guys, Wasford here to show off my newly acquired Swiss M71 helmet and Alpenflage combat uniform. Now right off the bat, I just want to say that this is not Swiss combat equipment I'm wearing. This is my old Alice rig, as I've researched and it's really hard to find Swiss combat gear, so I'm using the Alice for right now. I'm saying it looks pretty good, and unless someone really knows their military gear, they won't know the difference. Now, right here I have my Alpenflage combat uniform used by the Swiss military. The pattern was used from 1953 to 1993 and was based off of the German Liebermuster from World War II. Now, the set that I have, I think, is probably 1980s vintage. I've got the pants; they don't have the suspenders in them, and they've got a zipper fly as opposed to the older style button fly, and just these are in really outstanding condition. So, and I'm wearing my M71 steel combat helmet. I haven't really looked at this too carefully. I'm not sure how old it is, but assuming from the name, I assume this was introduced in 1971 to replace the previous M18 helmet and its derivatives, the M18/41/66. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the helmet. Now, here you have your steel pot style helmet, but it's definitely Swiss once you get to looking at it, especially on the inside. It's got the old style padded leather liner, just pretty much almost exactly like the M18, except it has 4 pads as opposed to 3. Now, it's a leather with the cushioning right here, and there's a foam backing around the inside of it, which is evidence of advancing technology somewhat, even though the interior is somewhat outdated compared to the US M1 and even the Czech helmets. I mean, this is pretty similar to what the Russians were using, but it's not too bad. It's actually pretty comfortable, and it's semi-adjustable. You've got the drawstring in the center right here, so you can increase or decrease the diameter of the helmet and how high it rides on your head. And then it's got an old style leather chin strap, as opposed to helmets at the time were switching over to nylon, with the exception of the Soviet Union and communist bloc. So it's adjustable, just your standard chin strap, and it hooks onto this loop right over here. And then the helmet has a Alpenflage TAS 83 helmet cover. It clips onto the edge, just like German covers from World War II and some other covers I've seen. They've got these hooks, so it just hooks over really nice. And then it has this band around it that you can actually put stuff in. And a cool feature about this helmet is in the front here, it's got a little rise, so that you can get a little bit better visibility. It might expose your head a little bit somewhat, but it's not too bad. And let's go ahead and put it back on. I've already got it adjusted. Let's just find that little hook. So as you can see, it provides pretty good coverage. Just give it 360 right here. It's pretty comfortable. It's actually, if this makes sense, it doesn't weigh too heavily on your head. It's pretty nice, and the steel is actually pretty thick. It's the helmet actually feels quite robust. It's just like the M18. That feels like a good solid helmet. However, with the liner, the impact protection and shock protection might be somewhat limited. I mean, you're probably more likely to get a concussion wearing one of these helmets. So I'll go ahead and take off my Alice gear so I can show the features of the uniform. Now, what I have is the shirt. It's commonly listed as a windbreaker or field jacket. I don't know if this is the actual field shirt or not, but it's pretty lightweight, so I assume it might be. Some really nice features are the elastic cuffs, so it doesn't really matter if you get it a size too big, it'll still cinch up around your wrists and provide a good level of comfort. It has a zipper on the front, which is pretty nice compared to BDUs and such. And then it's got two very large chest pockets. Although with a lot of these uniforms, the chest pockets are of dubious value, as they're usually covered by some sort of combat suspenders. Although I've seen some pictures of in museums of soldiers wearing Alpenflage where it seems like they just have a pistol belt. I'm not sure if that was complete or not. So, and it's got a sleeve pocket right here. And then two of these straps, I believe they're probably to put the combat suspenders through. So it's pretty nice. So now moving on to the pants. These are somewhat of a BDU style pant. They have two slash pockets on the side. Rear pocket with Velcro, which is a pretty interesting feature considering the vintage of this uniform. Velcro is pretty much what I've seen is coming out in the ACUs like the late 90s, early 2000s. It has a zippered front, which is really great. For those of you who own BDUs, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it has a snap closure, which is pretty cool. In addition to having two cargo pockets with snaps, which is pretty convenient and very cool. And versus the BDU, this is a really handy uniform. And just the Alpenflage, it just looks pretty cool. I mean, your where it'll provide good camouflage is kind of limited. If you live in an area where during autumn the leaves change, this is a pretty good pattern. Other than that, if you're in an area with a lot of green or brown, you're going to stand out. There's going to be a pretty big contrast between you and the environment that you're in. So it just looks neat. I mean, you don't see too many people with Alpenflage, so that's why I got mine. Just the cool factor. And even though it seems like a silly pattern in Switzerland, it's known as the Tutti Frutti pattern. In certain environments where there's a lot of browns and reds, like in the fall, this should actually work pretty well. And it was copied from a World War II German pattern, and those are pretty good, so this could work. So let's see what else. On I don't have the proper boots, so what I'm using is I've actually got an old pair of laceless boots that I'm using as jack boots for now. I mean, all I've got are my pretty much my U.S. issue spike protected jungle boots, and those are in green. I don't think those will be appropriate for this uniform, but all in all, this is pretty nice. It's not too expensive. The helmet cost me about $35. The jacket, windbreaker, field shirt, whatever you want to call it, cost me, I think, $18 with free shipping. And then I got the pants for about $24. So all in all, it's an extremely good deal. And just if you're a collector militaria or whatever, just want a cool pair of camouflage pants or uniform, just the Alpenflage is a pretty good option. It's not too expensive, and it's pretty common. So I was almost thinking about getting some of the newer Taz 90 stuff, but that's current issue with the Swiss military. I'm pretty sure it's hard to get. So hope you guys like my video. Please make sure to comment and subscribe.